My name's Vanessa Chalice. I started Tiger Law, so I have my own law firm and I have a team around me. And I'm very pleased to have been asked by G&M to help with a little guidance around coming to the UK for work. There are a couple of things to be aware of, which I'm sure you are, but there are differences currently until we fall off the Brexit cliff. Whereby there are different rules around people coming in from the EU member states with whom we've enjoyed freedom of movement and work, and people coming in from further afield and non-EU countries. So currently there is still a difference. When we do come to the end of this transitional period, we then need to be thinking about settlement. So you're ahead of the game in a lot of ways because you're with G&M and they will be matching you up with employers. So half of the battle when you're moving is finding the right role with the right company, the right culture, and ensuring that your employment contract has got everything you should expect from it. Now, in the UK, employees have really nice protections. We have a limit on the number of hours you can be expected to work per week. You may be lucky enough to have private health cover, and a number of other protections are in there around holiday and so on. It's worth checking that out. G&M will be all over it, I'm sure, but we can help there if you need us. So what should you be thinking about in preparation for your move? It will be things like Brexit, COVID-19 and freedom of movement in both of those contexts. You should be thinking about any tax consequences for you, how and when will you be paid. Healthcare here is free at the point that you need it, but if you haven't been here working and paying tax, there may be a surcharge, again, depending on your individual circumstances. You will probably need to set up a UK bank account if you're dealing with a UK company. You'll need a national insurance number, which is unique to you. Your employer might help you with that. And there will be different rules around your ability to drive in this country. So some licenses are equivalent, and from other places you need to sit a test. We also drive on the wrong side of the road for most of the world, so you may need to consider whether or not you're comfortable doing that. And is housing part of your employment contract? If not, you may need some assistance on choosing where to live, thinking about national transport and what that's going to look like day to day for you. So what should you have prepared? Well, obviously a valid passport, but it should have enough pages left in it for any visas that you need to have fixed in, any stamps. You may need to show your previous travel history. If you come from somewhere that requires evidence of an employer or a sponsor, you may need your sponsorship reference number early on. It may be a requirement that you evidence your proficiency in English. Also, there are various levels of tests here. So depending on where you come from, you may need to research whether or not you need to have provided that as part of the application to come and not something that you do after you get here. You may also need to think about whether you need to evidence money in the bank. Sometimes, depending on where you come from, even if you've got an employment contract in hand, they may ask for evidence of funds, just something perhaps to cover the transitional period when you get here to when you start working. What they're looking to guard against there is someone coming here without the ability to feed and clothe themselves and then needing assistance. So the areas of law that you need to be thinking about before you get here obviously are immigration law, which will, unfortunately, it's not one size fits all. It will depend on where you're coming in from. Employment law, so G&M, I'm sure, will be holding your hand through this, but we can also help with looking at your employment contracts and making sure they comply with UK legislation, which, as I say, is pretty protective of the employee, you'll be pleased to hear. Thinking about EU law and Brexit, if your proposed stay in the UK is going to start before the end of this transitional period and end after, do we need to think about settlement applications and so on? So we can help in any of those areas, from immigration to employment to more general commercial advice. And I'm sure if G&M find that you need more specific specialist advice, they'll ask you to talk to us or perhaps another advisor. So make sure that your employment contract has got everything it needs to have in it. If it's a multinational company and it's not long been based in the UK, don't necessarily take it as read that it will comply with UK employment legislation. For example, there was a change in April this year for all new employees. So just be aware of the quite rapid changes in the UK, which generally move towards increased protection for employees. We can help you with your entry clearance, no matter where you're from, your leave to enter, to remain, your PR application. We can go all the way through to British citizenship, although that's quite a long-winded route. We can help you around settlement and thinking about bringing your family here. It's not the case necessarily that your family will be able to come and visit. They may need visas, and not all of those visa applications are successful, so we can help you get those in shape before you apply. We can essentially support you with your move here, and as I say, I'm sure G&M will be looking after most of it. I think you're very lucky to have been taken on by them. They're a fantastic organisation and very down to earth and friendly, and I'm sure you're going to have lots of fun in your new roles. So my side of it really is just paperwork.